Alabama, Don't Stop, Mississippi, Possum Point, Georgia, Miami.
Who's Amy?
Miami.
Hey, you mean your Amy?
Bo Hunkers.
Bo Hookers?
Bo Hunkers.
Bo Hunkers?
Oh, I beg your pardon. Hoboken.
Hoboken. Oh, well, Mr. Conductor, I want to go to Hot Town.
Hot Town?
Yes, sir.
That's the last stop.
Last
All aboard.
All right, sir.
Still getting used to all this. Still fun. Still incredibly fun. Welcome. Hey, look, you can actually see all my stats over there. Let's just get rid of all those. Okay, hide. There you go. Welcome. If you are not aware, this is just me having some fun playing a classic 1984 game called Crime and Punishment. You know what? Let's just get right into it. Man, I mean, I'm just not ready for this. I saw that it was the top of the hour and I thought, you know what? Let's just load up some Crime and Punishment. What's the worst that could happen? And here we are. Crime and Punishment, there we go. Auto start, there we go. Now, this game has a certain level of very painful audio. There we go. Load that up. Okay. So we'll play some music here for you. Yeah, that's fair. And as soon as the audio kicks in, like the hardcore game audio kicks in, then we're going to stop that. We'll cease and desist that, I'll tell you. Pretty darn quick. In the meantime, you can just enjoy the dulcet tones of actual fair music from the 1500s. I'll be certain to hit stop the moment the chip tune audio kills everyone. So I hope you have your volume low, and I hope you're not wearing headphones. I should really show off the new image as well, but we'll do that in a moment. Because we're coming into the painful audio any second now. Any second now. And likewise and similar, I apologize to anyone if their ears get completely destroyed. Yeah. Could have loaded it up from a snapshot, but figured I'd just do this. Take it from scratch, because I don't know how many of you have actually seen this game being played. And I know that. Okay, how's everyone doing? How is everyone doing? Are you alive? That's great. Let's do game capture from an existing source. I'll do this one, boom. And there we are. And now let's just move that over. Tell you what we'll do, we'll get that there. And then move this here and there we go. Not bad. It's playing havoc with my mouth, but whatever. And we gotta do one final thing. That's... And we can wear all that stuff, but... There we go. We're getting out the gavel. That's alright. This model comes with its own gavel. And I'm comfortable with that. That being the case, let's bring that down there and close that there. There we go. You know what? Let's even pull this up here. And that should be okay. Just bring it back that way. And finally, we'll get rid of that box art. I think we should be good. Excellent. So, welcome to Crime and Punishment. And let's just make sure that I have good. Excellent. You may review some background information playing tips for the game. What we're gonna do is, you know what? I left my gavel on screen. Let me just get rid of that. Cool beans. Okay. Right. Well, I'm gonna just start you in on the game. Like, I'm just gonna straight up start you in on this game to let you know what it's all about. Yeah, do you want to do that? There we go. Court is now in session. Your rating will be affected by, you know what, it's 10 minutes after the hour. We're not doing too bad. Court is now in session. Your rating will be affected by how much and what kind of information you choose. The defendant is to be sentenced for the crime of mail fraud. Well, we're going to look at the details of this crime. And we're going to look at property damage or loss. You know what? For the crime of mail fraud, we're going to look at weapon used. You can hear the loud motors in my background. Demographics. The offender is a 40-year-old Hispanic male. The victims are the state and the people. The offender-victim relationship. Society is the victim. The weapon used, physical injury, no personal injury, property damage or loss, $320, and the excuse given for this crime. The offender said he wanted money to bet on the horses. So we've got mail fraud for $320 for horse racing. Just gonna take that down a notch. Sure, that's good. And now we're going to look at the offender's criminal record. And we're checking out... Actually, you know what? We're going to lower that even more. Bring that down to 5. We're going to check out his adult prior crime types. This adult was arrested for mail fraud, $320. The prior crime types include marijuana possession, prior arrests and convictions. 1 recorded prior arrest, 1 recorded prior conviction. The fugitive status on the day of this crime. The offender was on probation. We're going to look at the pre-sentence report, and we're going to look at the personal details. The offender is recently divorced, is habitually drunk, and has a correspondence school degree. His employment history is that he cannot hold down a job. Courtroom prosecution details. The defendant pleaded guilty. That makes things easy. A public pressure group calls you weak. Alright, let's review the known facts on this. In the federal crime of mail fraud, property damage or loss was $320. Society is the victim. There was no personal injury. The offender is a 40-year-old Hispanic male. The victims are the state and the people. The offender said he wanted money to bet on the horses. The offender was on probation. Prior crimes include marijuana possession. Recorded priors are 1 arrest, 1 conviction. The defendant pleaded guilty. A public pressure group calls you weak. The offender is recently divorced, is habitually drunk, and has a correspondence school degree. The offender can't hold down a job. And there we have it. We're going to reach a decision on this. So, mail fraud is a federal crime, so this person is going to prison. The amount of years and months for a $320 crime where ultimately he pleaded guilty and no one was really harmed. I'm going to say 2 years. 2 years of prison. Don't do it. It's mail fraud. Don't do it. And there we go. Let's see how we did. Well, the judge gave nearly 4 months of jail. That's a little light, you ask me, but hey, what do I know? I'm not a judge. Alright. Prepare for some gavels and some music. Only 1 gavel. Perhaps I should study medicine. Perhaps I should. I love how you can see my eyes tracking. That's really cool. Now it's time for our next case. Remember, it is how much and what kind of... You know what? Actually, for this... That didn't work in my favor. Let's... There we go. Let's try this. Okay, now it's time for our next case. Remember, it is how much and what kind of information. Oh, you know what I would do. Okay, we're taking another quick break here. I'm gonna quickly Google Judge Hair PNG. Oh, look at that. It exists. View all. And we're gonna wow, look at this. Tools. Tools. I mean, I wish I could show you my screen on this one, but I can't, but still. You know what? We're not going to do it. Yeah, maybe next time. Maybe next time. Alright, next time for our next case. Remember, it is how much and what kind of information that is important. The defendant is to be sentenced for the crime of kidnapping. Details of this crime are that. The demographics. The offender is a 59-year-old Caucasian male. The victim was a 58-year-old Caucasian male. The offender-victim relationship. The offender and victim were political opponents. Property damage or loss, $41,000. Weapon use, physical injury. The victim won't go out of the house. Political opponents. And the excuse given for this crime is that he said he had to have money for a gambling debt. And how much? $41,000. Okay. Let's look at the offender's criminal record. And we're going to look at adult prior crime types. Prior crime types include theft, prior arrests and convictions. The 48-year-old man has had 12 recorded prior arrests and 6 recorded prior convictions. Fugitive status on the day of the crime is that the offender is a bail jumper. Let's look at the pre-sentence report. The personal details are that the offender is married by common law, chews tobacco, and has a grammar school education. The employment history is that the offender is a high school teacher. Court and prosecution details state that the defendant was held in contempt of court. Priests speak out on the defendant's behalf. Well, there we go. I don't like that contempt of court bit, I'll tell you that. Property damage or loss was $40,000. The offender and the victim were political opponents. The victim won't go outside the house. The offender is a 59-year-old Caucasian male. The victim was a 58-year-old Caucasian male. The offender said he had to have money for a gambling debt. The offender is a bail jumper. The prior crime types include theft. He's had 12 recorded prior arrests, 6 recorded prior convictions. Oh. Pardon me. The defendant was held in contempt of court. Priests speak out on the defendant's behalf. The offender is married by common law, chews tobacco, and is a grammar school education. The offender is a high school teacher. And there we are. Let's reach a decision. Kidnapping, that's pretty bad. Guy's going to jail. $41,000, that's, I don't know, whatever. I don't know. Let's see. Let's put it this way, a guy away for 5 years. I think 5 years is enough too. I mean, the guy's been in the system, right? He's been through, he's seen some stuff. Yeah, we'll do 5 years. I can't really think of a good justification really beyond that, but 5 years seems alright. Ooh. The judge sentenced nearly 20 years, 17 and a half years. That's, you know what, that is much harsher than what I would have done, but entirely justified. I'd say entirely justified. Only 2 gavels. You remind me of a judge I knew in Kangaroo Court. You must be new at this. I enjoy how the judge here, fake 1984 Green Judge Wapner, capitalized kangaroo and capitalized court. You remind me of a judge I knew in Kangaroo Court. You know, that's special when they capitalize it. Alright, it's now time for our next case. Remember, it is how much and what kind of information that is important. The defendant is to be sentenced for the crime of securities fraud. Never had that one. You know what? I'm just going to really quickly pull up. Crime, securities fraud. What is securities fraud? Let's just quickly add some text. Yep. And we'll call this text crime and punishment text. Paste. We're gonna Comic Sans this. And we are going to color it. Select a color. We're going to color this teal green. Text transform. I'm gonna wrap around, but it's not letting me do that. All right. There. And so you might be asking, what are security frauds? What is securities fraud? Let's make it a different color than purple or green. Okay. What is securities fraud? Securities fraud takes place in the stock market or commodities market. It includes a variety of unlawful activities and strategies that primarily involve misrepresenting information that investors use to make decisions. Oh, thanks a lot. Oh, technology. All right, let's get rid of that. The defendant is to be sentenced for the crime of securities fraud. Let's look at the details of this crime. And we're going to look at demographics. The offender is a 39-year-old white male. The victims are the state and the people. The offender-victim relationship society is the victim. As far as weapon used and physical injury, there was no personal injury. With property damage or loss, $31,000 of property damage or loss. And the excuse given for this crime of securities fraud. The offender said he needed money to support a drug habit. So we got $31,000. Let's look at the offender's criminal record. The adult prior crime types include political offenses. Prior arrests and convictions include 2 arrests, 1 conviction. Fugitive status on the day of the crime. Arizona wants him. And we're going to look at the pre-sentence report. The personal details are that the offender is honeymooning, drinks coffee excessively, and is a vocational school graduate. The employment history is that he is a political candidate. Well. Okay. Okay. All right. And the courtroom prosecution details state that the probation officer recommends prison. The prosecutor calls for a strong sentence at a press conference. I'm almost willing to lean more on that one. Let's review the known facts. Securities fraud, which, I'll remind you, securities fraud takes place in the stock or commodities markets. So if you need lettuce or vegetables, this is where you go. It includes a variety of unlawful activities and strategies that primarily involve misrepresenting information that investors use to make decisions. There. Property damage or loss was $31,000. Society is the victim and there was no personal injury. The offender is a 39-year-old male. The victims are the state and the people. The offender said that he needed money to support a drug habit. Arizona wants him. Prior crimes include political offenses. Recorded prior arrests are 2 and recorded prior convictions are 1. The probation officer recommends prison. The prosecutor calls for a strong sentence at a press conference. The offender is honeymooning, drinks coffee excessively, and is a vocational school graduate. The offender is a political candidate. Alright, let's make a sentence. I gotta go with prison. We're just getting a lot of prisons on this. It was only $31,000. Something tells me that it's gonna be, I don't know, light on my end and stiff on this judge's end. But we'll just run with it, eh? I'm gonna give 3 years of prison. I mean, no one really was hurt. Whether it was tomatoes or whatever. Wow, look at that avatar. That avatar's just going. Just giving. Weird. Whether it's 3 years, it's cool. Let's just run with it, shall we? Judge's sentence is 2 years, 5 months. Wow, it was actually almost close. That's cool. Just gonna open something up here. I say I'm just gonna open something up, but oh, there it is. Okay, cool. There. Let's close all that down. And back into the game. Well, let's take a look at the, let's take a look at this. We'll go to, see, we did not get a symmetrical duck on this. And you'll figure out what a symmetrical duck award is. But, we might be close on gavels. Splendid work. You've received 8 gavels. You have a keen eye for justice. Well, that's handy. I'll take it. Now it's time for our next case. Remember, it is how much and what kind of information that is important. Ooh. Defendant. The defendant is resentenced for the crime of assault and burglary. Let's look at the details of this crime. And we'll look at the demographics. The offender is a 56-year-old black male. The victim was a 17-year-old white Protestant male. The offender-victim relationship. The offender and victim were acquaintances. Weapon used physical injury. The victim was beaten with brass knuckles. Property damage or loss was $1,005, and the excuse given for this crime. The offender said he had an irresistible urge. Assault and burglary. Wow. Let's look at the offender's criminal record. We're going to look at adult prior crime types. Specific crime type information is unavailable. Prior arrests and convictions. Oh, fairly clean record. 0 prior recorded arrests. 0 prior recorded convictions. The fugitive status on the day of the crime is that Canada requests extradition. Naturally so. And then, we're going to head over to the pre-sentence report and take a look at the personal details. The offender is cohabiting, shoots dope, and is a community college student. The employment history is that the offender is a part-time college ethics professor. Make of that what you will. The courtroom prosecution details the defendant gave up his Confederates? So weird. The ACLU says that a harsh sentence would be an outrage. I don't know about that. I mean, We've got a college ethics professor beating up on someone with brass knuckles who is the approximate age of one of his students. Yeah. Sure thing, ACLU. Go have a seat there, ACLU. Let's review the known facts. The property damage or loss was $1,005. The offender and victim were acquaintances. The victim was beaten with brass knuckles. The offender is a 56-year-old male. Victim was a 17-year-old male. The offender said he had an irresistible urge. Canada requests extradition. Specific crime type information is unavailable. Recorded priors are 0 arrests and 0 convictions. The defendant gave up his Confederates. The ACLU says that a harsh sentence would be an outrage. The offender is cohabiting, shoots dope, and is a community college student. And the offender is a part-time college ethics professor. Well, here we go. I'm gonna say prison. I mean, yeah. I'm gonna say 2 years of prison on this one. It's a very light fiscal amount of $1,005. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that. 2 years. It's probably gonna either be really close or way off. This guy, I assume, fake alternate Earth Green Judge Walkman is going to sentence to probation, I bet. I'll say 7 months of probation. Well, let's take a look. I said 2 years of prison and the judge went 6 years of prison. I was a little light. And I was a little unassuming of what that judge was going to do as well. Oh well. I received only 4 gavels. I might be ready to handle traffic court. Try some more cases to improve your score. Maybe I will. Now it's time for our next case. Remember, it is how much and what kind of information that is important. And as always, please keep in mind that if we come across any cases that are of a truly sensitive nature, we will be not issuing the death penalty, but skipping over to a 99-year prison sentence as fast as possible, receiving a 1 gavel sentence and on to the next case. This is how we roll. Now here we go. The defendant, this is not one of those cases. The defendant is to be sentenced for the crime of marijuana use. Let's look at the details of this crime. The demographics are that the offender is a 43-year-old white Catholic male. I'll tell you, whenever I get to demographics, I yawn. The offender is a 43-year-old white Catholic male. The victims are the state and the people. The offender-victim relationship, society is the victim. The weapon used physical injury, no personal injury. Property damage or loss, no monetary loss, and the excuse given for this crime is that the offender said he didn't do it. For the crime of marijuana use. Let's look at the offender's criminal record. Remember, this is 1984, this is happening. We're going to look at adult prior crime types. Specific crime type information is unavailable. Prior arrests and convictions. No arrests, no convictions. Fugitive status on the day of this crime, the offender is clean. So, what an utterly clean... Okay, cool. Pre-sentence report. Personnel details. The offender is single, uses heroin, and is a high school dropout. Employment history. The offender is a car dealership owner. Good for him. And the court and prosecution details. The defendant still claims his innocence. A mayoral candidate calls this a test case for the system. Okay. This is both a stupid case and brilliant at the same time. Let's review the known facts. In the 1984 crime of marijuana use, and I can't stress this enough, this is actually, I'm going to go back. These are American flags. You know, U.S., God save the Queen, whatever, I don't know, U.S., America. And this game came out in 1984. In the 1984 American case of marijuana use, of which someone was arrested, there was no monetary loss. Society is the victim. There was no personal injury. The offender is 43 years old. He said he didn't do it. The offender is clean. The offender is clean. The defendant claims his innocence. The offender is single, uses heroin, and is a high school dropout. The offender is a car dealership owner. I mean, other than the heroin use thing, which has my utmost sympathy, I might add, I truly and I sincerely feel that, I mean, man, oh man, we're going probation on this one for 0 years and 6 months. And that 6 months, no, you know what? That 6 months is for heroin use, which is immaterial to this crime. 0 years and 2 months. That's to both make sure that he's not doing anything, but also if he wants to have the ability to come in for some therapeutic circumstances regarding that heroin use, he can. We're providing him an opportunity is what we're doing. Alright. This is almost the lightest sentence that I can give the guy. Let's see how we score. 7 years of probation, again, for marijuana use. Yeah. One gavel. Perhaps I should study medicine. Perhaps fake Green Judge Wapner should study empathy. We're going to take a hydration check. Oh, I gotta go get some hydration. So, I'll be right back. And I'll tell you this, teammates. The Why do I think this is Doc Brown all of a sudden? The excuse given for this crime. The offender said he was upset at his child's death. This is definitely not Doc Brown. Wow. Okay. Let's look at the... Wow, would Doc Brown have been charged with sedition? Huh. Okay. Huh. Let's look at the offender's criminal record. Wow, just puts Back to the Future in a whole different light now, doesn't it? The adult prior crime types include sex offenses. This is definitely not Doc Brown. Prior arrests and convictions include 4 prior recorded arrests and 2 prior recorded convictions. The fugitive status on the day of the crime is that the offender has no holds. Pre-sentence report. Personal details are that this man is judicially separated, he does not drink, and he is a high school graduate. His employment history is that he is a white-collar worker. And court prosecution details. The defendant threatens a pre-witness for the prosecution. The media blasts off judges. And there we are. Let's review these known facts. So once again, in the crime of sedition, where sedition is overt conduct such as speech and organization that tends towards rebellion against the established order. Sedition often includes subversion of a constitution and incitement of discontent toward or insurrection against established authority. The property damage or loss was $9,000. Societies of the victim high-tech weapons were sold to Libya in 1984. The offender is a 57-year-old white Jewish male. The victims are the state and the people. The offender said he was upset at his child's death. The offender has no holds. Prior crimes include sex offenses. Recorded priors are 4 arrests and 2 convictions. The defendant threatens a pre-witness for the prosecution. That's never cool. The media blasts up soft judges. The offender is judicially separated, does not drink, and is a high school graduate. The offender is a white-collar worker. Okay. There you go. Federal crime, going to prison. I think it was, what, $9,000, but the thing is, the high-tech weapons being sold to a foreign nation. I'm just gonna straight up say 20 years of prison. I'd say 15 years of prison, and then on top of that, he also threatened a prosecution witness. So, yeah, 20 years of prison. Here we go. Let's see what the fake 1984 alternate Earth Queen Judge Wapner scored it as. You know what this means. We got us a Symmetrical Duck Award. We got us a Symmetrical Duck Award. Yeah. Let me just copy this. I'm just going to paste a reference here. I'm going to group these together. Group. We're going to call this Shuba Small. Paste. Oh, I know what I did. I have to copy these, copy. And I have to paste these as a duplicate. Put these in here. And I can turn that off. Then I can make these larger. $508,182. Excellent. There we go. Shuba, shuba, shuba. And yeah, we also got us a Symmetrical Duck Award, didn't we? Oh, I gotta take those out. Where's the other one? Yeah, that's fine. Great. I have no idea what I did with it. Doesn't matter. Oh, there's the other one. Fantastic. And there we go. We got us our first Symmetrical Duck Award of the night. Hooray. I'm cool with that. I'll see what I can do by getting a duck bill, but yeah, I'm ecstatic about that. Let's listen to some music, shall we? Actually, you know what? No, I don't have it on here. Oh well. We don't have it on here, but we will. How ecstatic. Got a Symmetrical Duck Award. Oh. 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, we got 9 gavels. We got the Symmetrical Duck Award, but we didn't get all the gavels. But these things happen. There we go. Well, 9 gavels. We'll take it anyway. Alright. Well, let's go into the next case. Woof. 1, no. 5, prison. Chicka-bam. Also, it seems we've lost audio on the game. It's just from my doing, I'll tell you that. Five, prison, 99 years. Alright, we're back into it. Welcome back. We've got 1 Symmetrical Duck Award on the night. Hooray! Still working on it. Still working on it. Okay. And let's look at the details of the crime of assault. And we're going to look at the demographics. The offender is a 65-year-old Hispanic Catholic male. The victim was a 38-year-old white Catholic male. The offender-victim relationship, they were strangers. The weapon used physical injury. The victim received no injury. The weapon was feigned. Property damage or loss is $1,985, and the excuse given for this crime, the offender said he wanted to impress a movie star. Alright, let's look at the offender's criminal record, and we're going to look at adult prior crime types. Those include theft. Prior crimes, prior arrests and convictions include 12 recorded prior arrests, 6 recorded prior convictions. Fugitive status on the day of the crime is that the offender has no holds. Pre-sentence report. The personal details of this man is that he is a soon-to-be-wed. Oh, he is soon-to-be-wed. Congratulations. He stays as sober as a judge, and he is a graduate of the School of Hard Knocks. His employment history is that he is a menial laborer. The court and prosecution details are that the probation officer recommends prison. The defendant was defended by a private attorney. Let's review the known facts. In the crime of assault, property damage or loss was $1,985. The offender and the victim were strangers. The victim received no injury. The weapon was feigned. The offender is a 65-year-old Hispanic Catholic male. The victim was a 38-year-old white Catholic male. The offender said he wanted to impress a movie star. The offender has no holds. Prior crimes include theft. 12 recorded prior arrests, 6 recorded prior convictions. The probation officer recommends prison. The defendant was defended by a private attorney. The offender is soon to be wed, stays as sober as a judge, and is a graduate of the School of Hard Knocks, and the offender is a menial laborer. Well, let's reach a decision on this one. I'm going to sentence jail. I haven't done that at all so far. There was no injury and the weapon was feigned. That really factors into things. This person has been around, but for just under $2,000, I'm willing to put this guy in for 24 months, which is 2 years of jail. That should allow for quite a bit of time of rehabilitation. I think this is okay. 2 years of jail time. Once again, rehabilitation is the key on this one. And let's take a look at how we did. 5 years of prison. Once again, I can kind of see that happening. Now, only 4 gallons might be ready to handle traffic court. I think honestly, I think we're going to end it on that note. I think we've had a good run tonight. I think we've done well. We've had a lot of fun. Yeah. we've had a chance to try out the new avatar. We've played around on YouTube. Hey, welcome YouTube. Yeah. You know what? I think, all in all, I think we did good tonight. I really do think we can do good. We had a lot of fun. So, I'm really happy that we got the Symmetrical Duck Award. We got one. That's really the only scoring, or the only victory condition you can have on a game like this. So arbitrary. So, you know what? I'm cool that whenever we get one, I'm cool. But yeah, we're nearing the top of the hour, and I just really wanted to thank anyone and everyone who watches this, whether it's live or through the VOD. So you know what? Sincerely and from the bottom of my heart, on this first version of the new 1.0. I mean this sincerely, everyone. Thanks for watching.
Hello, folks. You know I've been picking and trying to pick up banjos for 40 years or more. I used to just play the imitations, but now I'm going to give you a little of the variations of Casey Jones. folks, I'm going to give you a little of Old Dan Tucker, containing more heterogeneous constant policy, double flavor, and unknown quality than usual. Old Dan Tucker's a fine old man. I watched his face in the frying pan. A coned head with the wagon wheel. Died the toothache in his heel. Got away, old Dan Tucker. He come too late to get your supper. Tucker was a hard-ridden sinner, never said grace over his dinner. The old hog squealed, the pig did squall, him old hog with tail and all. By the way, old Dan Tucker, he come too late to get your supper. Fell in the fire and kicked up a chunk charcoal, got inside the shoe. Lord bless you, honey, how the ashes flew. By the way, old Dan Tucker, he come too late to get your supper. Here's the booze and Choctaw cider, lemon extract and old Budweiser. Horse said it's bitter than the doctor's tonic. The good book said a little good for the stomach.